Hello, my name is Cordell Radke, and this is my thesis presentation for my Web Design Development Portfolio 3 class at Full Sail University. So just a little outline of the main topics I will cover in this presentation. What have I done? What have I learned? What can I take away from this experience? And what can I do for you? So what I've learned, what I've done, C# is a great programming language to learn right off the bat. If you're new to coding and developing, it's a very valuable language to learn in today's technological industry and will help you learn other object-oriented languages. So far at Full Sail University, I have successfully completed my first portfolio project using JavaScript and some HTML. After that, I took a course called Visual Frameworks, which taught me the fundamentals of C# coding and Windows Forms via Microsoft's Visual Studio. It took me 3 tries to pass the class, but I was determined to stick with it in the end, and here I am. I feel a lot more confident in my coding skills after taking that class. I'm glad I did not quit the program. So for this course, I just finished my first original C# application game for my final project, which I will be demonstrating that in another video. What I've learned, I did a lot of thesis work throughout the course of this month. I will briefly cover what I've learned from the assignments. So for product foundations, I learned a lot about the different methodologies companies such as Apple and Microsoft use when planning for a project. The 2 methods are the Agile and Waterfall approach. While both methods have their pros and cons, the Agile approach is trending in today's business planning. Fast and iterative prototyping is also a trend today in technological industries because the process is efficient, it improves usability, it improves the overall experience. For understanding core tech, I explained how using C# for my project was beneficial, some of the key features when using C# for applications. And during the work and study process, I talked a lot about my personal work life, how I work best, and other strengths and weaknesses on a day-to-day work-life balance. Also, I talked a lot about the benefits of entrepreneurship and how even though you get a lot of benefits, it involves a lot of extra work in maintaining your own startup, and how it can be risky at times considering your income is directly related to your success. And lastly, I learned a lot about the differences of prototypes and minimum viable products. Prototypes are developed before an MVP, and the minimum viable products will be released as a product and experienced by a wide audience of users, while the prototypes will be geared towards smaller audiences. Also, I learned a lot about the pros and cons of bootstrapping and investment funding. For me, I concluded that bootstrapping is the best way to go when you want to reap all the benefits, while investment funding is the safer route, but you may lose some control over your product or company. Either way, it's all about what you know you can do that will benefit others. So what I took away from the experience, here's a lot of tips I'd give to future students. So throughout this course, I really felt overwhelmed at times because of the amount of material given, which is why I would suggest that students get a head start on the material. Always communicate with your instructor. Can't stress that enough. That's what they're there for. Use the Slack for instant messaging, and if they don't respond at a reasonable time, I would ask a classmate. Never procrastinate, or you will be even more overwhelmed with all the assignments, especially your final project. Speaking of final project, start your project at the beginning of the month. This will give you all the time you need to finish early and create your presentations ahead of time. Sometimes people forget how hard making a presentation can be, which is why you should always be prepared. Time management was the hardest challenge for me, but I was able to overcome by hard studying for several hours and then taking maybe 5 to 30 minute breaks in between to refresh my brain. So overall, this was a very successful and productive month. I've mentioned already what to do to prepare for this course. Tools such as the Trello board can be very useful when laying out the month and working around your schedules. Remember to start your final project early. Always communicate with your instructors. You will get kudos that way, and you'll have more knowledge on the assignments. And lastly, don't be afraid of failure. No matter how many times you fail, you gotta stand right back up and walk. You'll learn more that way, and you'll be even more successful in the end. So never give up. And I'll leave you with these inspirational quotes. Computer science education cannot make anybody an expert programmer any more than studying brushes and pigment can make somebody an expert painter. Don't worry if it doesn't work right. If everything did, you'd be out of the job. So thank you guys for listening in on my presentation. Thank you to my instructor and my fellow classmates for another great month, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.